I didn't start speaking. You can wake up. Okay. We are in. Where are we? We're in Shmuel. We're in Book of Samuel. Thank you. Please subscribe to this channel. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell, or whatever you have to hit, so that way you can always know that when new classes given. And please don't forget to like it. The more you like it, the more you get people to like it. Well, in your case, the more you like it, the more comments you make on it, it'll become higher in your rankings on your YouTube page, and you get to watch me right away. Okay. Like I said, we're in the Book of Samuel, chapter 20, verse 8, and David is talking to Yonatan. Yonatan cannot imagine that Saul, his father, is still against David, because Saul told Yonatan that he would no longer run after David. But David said, your father is against me. That's why he threw the spear at me. That's why I'm on the run. And so, but let's set up a situation where Rosh Chodesh is coming up tomorrow. And so I don't want to go to the meal. And so here's how we're going to do it. You're going to tell him that you gave me the permission to go home to my father, to my family, because we have a special holiday at this time. So Kibbutz Av, honoring one's parents, so I have to go home. You have given me permission, so I'm not in rebellion of the king. That's number one.
Yeah, but you left out something. He wasn't to tell him this until the third night.
No, I didn't say that. I'm getting into what the plan is going to be. Okay, so he tells him, you're going to tell your dad, if he asks where I am, you're going to tell him you give him permission. Again, why is it so important that Yonatan has to give him permission to go? Otherwise, he's in rebellion of the king. So you can't have that. Because normally everybody would show up to the Rosh Chodesh celebration. Okay. All the close people. And he is the son-in-law, so it makes sense that he should show up. That was number one. Number two, if the father-in-law even realizes that he is there and asks the question, then you're to answer that you gave me permission to go home. Okay, fine. If your father gets upset, first you go, let's pause it. If he says he's happy with that, or he doesn't even ask, so then it's a suffix, it's a question. Well, if he's happy, then everything's good. But if he doesn't say anything, then it's a question. Is your father against me? But there's no way to verify that or deny that. But if your father gets upset, so then we know that your father is trying to kill me. Okay. That was the plan that they were going to set up. And since Rosh Chodesh was 2 days that time, so he would have even if he would pass the first meal, by the second meal, because you can always miss the first meal, but the second meal the king should ask by. Again, if he doesn't ask at all, that means he's not even on David's not on his mind. There's something to worry about. Okay, either way. So now we are at verse 8. He says, again, speaking to Yonatan, he says, "V'asita chesed al avdecha," and you should do kindness to upon your servant. Keep vrit Hashem, because with the covenant of Hashem, heveita el avdecha imach, you have brought your servant with you. In other words, we've entered into an agreement. V'im yesh bi avon, if there is a sin in me, in other words, if I have sinned, hamiteni ata, you should kill me. Ve'ad avicha lama zeh tivieni, and why should you want to bring me to your father? Okay. Now here's something interesting. What do you want to say?
We've covered this before, but in this book it says iniquity. What's the Hebrew word that you just said as sin?
Avon.
And what would mean specifically iniquity, and what's the difference? There has to be.
What does iniquity mean?
I don't know. There has to be.
What does iniquity mean?
How many words are there for sin in Hebrew? How many different words?
Again, you have at least 3.
At least 3, of which this is one kind.
Yes.
What are the other?
And avon would be something that you didn't mean to do.
And iniquity is something just like accidental.
Actually, so I'm not sure what iniquity would be. Now, that's what I'm asking. It's good. That's why everybody has a nice Google.
Sin, yeah.
Well, again, what Steve was asking is there's different shades of sin.
Yeah.
So you have avon, which should be.
Words for it.
Again, you have different shades, right? So I'm not sure I'm not sure in English what the difference would be. Chet would be a sin, right? But chatati a sin, pashati a sin. Yeah. It's all I transgressed. Again,
what's the difference between iniquity and transgression?
Transgression is on purpose.
All right.
There's no question about that. Pashati is I transgressed, which means I did it purposely. Yeah. What do you want to? What is it?
The English word seems to be a synonym for like improperty, immorality, vice, just like wicked behavior.
It sounds like something you choose to do, not accidental.
It's a Latin word. It comes from aequus, which means right, equal, or just.
Which word?
Aequus in Latin.
Okay.
And we get equation and equal.
Oh, so you're talking about iniquity.
Iniquity. And in can mean not. So you're not righteous. You're not just. You're not
So it's very similar to the word sin.
to sin, yeah.
So
transgression is crosses across, and a gradior is to step across somebody else's right.
You knew about it.
Well, what's happening is if he's saying if there is something wrong within me that, by the way, if I sin, I don't necessarily recognize that I sin until you point out that I'm sinning. I don't have to know that it's a sin to sin, right? What's the expression in English? There's no excuse.
Ignorance of the law.
Ignorance of the law is no excuse. So the same thing with Hebrew. Same thing with all situations. Just because I don't know that I'm doing wrong doesn't make it right. So that's what he's saying. Im yesh bi avon. If there is a sin that I have that I don't recognize, or I'm doing incorrectly, or whatever, hamiteni ata, you should kill me. Okay, so but that as opposed to peshati, that I did on purpose. Chatati would mean I know it's a sin and I did it accidentally. That would be your difference. Avon is I don't know, I don't have to know it's a sin, but I sinned. Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So when I'm doing certain things, and that's why we use those three terms. One is I didn't know at all. The other ones I knew, but I did it. And the other ones I knew it, I did it with full malice, and I'm even asking, and even for there, I'm asking for you to forgive me. In other words, a man, you know when people do this? The old thing is when a man commits adultery, he goes to his wife, I'm so sorry. You can't say I didn't mean to. You can't say I didn't know it was wrong. I was caught up in the moment. So the wife takes a gun and shoots him because she was also caught up in the moment. Okay, fine. But the bottom line is adultery is a non-forgivable situation. Normally, you would think, and yet you see some women, or the other way around. I mean, you can do adultery on the other side. They forgive their spouse. But that was definitely pashati. There was no way you could say I didn't know it was forbidden to commit adultery. It's abnormal. I didn't know it was forbidden to kill somebody. That's abnormal. What do you mean you didn't know? What are you, an idiot? Okay. So those are pashati where I say, please forgive me.
All right, so this iniquity means there was no intent.
That's what he's saying. If I did something wrong, so you kill me. All right. I didn't have an intent to do wrong, but if I did something wrong, well, by all means, But you should kill me, not your father. Don't bring me to your father. Which is an interesting statement too.
Why would he kill him if there was no intent?
Again, ignorance of the law is no excuse. So if I break the law and I didn't realize it was a law, I'll give you an example. I was driving down the highway with some kids in the car. I was driving NCS wires to Chicago, and I was driving along, and speed limit was going to get by. I wasn't breaking any laws that I knew of. And I was driving down. I see the cop, on the side doing something with some other Michiganer who was breaking the law. Fine. And I passed. I didn't change lanes. I didn't slow down. I passed him at 50, whatever speed limit was, 65. I passed him in my lane. Okay. Now I could have gone to a lane. There was no traffic. I could have easily come over to the side, but I didn't know you had to. So I was in my lane going 65 miles an hour. Good. I went down. Next thing I know, pulls me over.
The same cop?
Same cop. He had a field day. Okay. All right. So he pulls me over and license registration. I said, no problem.
Kids in the car.
I think I said,
Were they laughing?
what?
Were the kids laughing?
No, they didn't know what's going on
Did
either.
any of them tell you that you had?
No, they're kids. They don't know what the laws are from. I was driving them. They weren't driving me. So
They were driving you crazy.
they weren't doing anything. They were nice kids. They're sitting down there listening to their. Baruch Hashem, everybody had their iPhone or whatever they had in those days, and they were living. And the cop stops them. Who cares? Okay, they may laugh a little though. They're having pulled over, but nonetheless, the guy pulls me over and he said, "You know what you did wrong?" I said, "Absolutely not. I really don't. I was going to speed limit. What did I do wrong?" He said, "You saw me standing there." I said, "Of course I saw you standing there." She said, "You're supposed to change lanes." I said, "Why?"
Oh my God, why?
I was curious. I said, "I'm sorry, but why?" So he said, "Because you could hit me."
Ooh, yeah.
I said, "Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize there was a law here." And she said, "What do you mean?" He says, "A law everywhere." I said, "I come from Maine. In Maine, I never saw such a law. I've been there for 7 years. In Massachusetts, I never saw the law. You tell me it's a law in Indiana, Chicago, I'll believe you. I'm not arguing with you, officer. It's not worth my time. But I didn't know. I just didn't know. Sorry."
Are you allowed back on that road?
Yes. So what happened was he let me go with a warning.
Yeah.
And that was it. Fine.
Were you wearing your yarmulke?
Of course I was. I represent myself quite well when it comes to that. So he saw that I was, he saw I wasn't doing it on purpose. Okay, so it's within his rights to say, "Zoll's angesetzt. Go away, keep going. Just remember, next time you see it, veer away. Thank you very much, officer. I will, no problem. And by the way, I'll learn my lesson if I see it." He told me, he did give one proviso. If there's too much traffic that you cannot cut over, don't kill yourself. But if there is no traffic, that's it.
He says, slow down and be cautious.
Right, slow down, make sure, blah, blah. You have to do that. You have to do one of the two. You can't go, okay, whatever you want.
Well, he saw you were, honest.
I was honest about it.
While the two of you were sitting there, did you notice other cars changing lanes while you were sitting there with them?
Oh, no, absolutely not. When you are talking to the cop, your whole focus is on the cop and you don't care what's going on in the world. It's like when you're under the chuppah, you're only focused on your beloved. You don't care about the rest of the world. It's totally irrelevant. Okay. And so, like I said, but if the cop would have wanted to, he could have certainly written me a ticket.
Yeah.
That was his generosity of the day. That's all. But that was Navon. I didn't know it was halacha, but the halacha of the night of Chicago. He said it was everywhere, so I don't know.
Were you on the toll road?
Yeah, some toll road. So it was. I didn't know the other roads in those days. All I knew was toll road. But what I'm saying is, you have that situation where that's Navon. That's Navon. It wasn't Pashati. I didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't Chatati. I didn't know it was a halacha from the United States of America. I didn't know. It was about ignorance of the law. Now the craziest thing is, it just shows you that no matter how many times you read these books, I had to get in the end a license. And this is the craziest state that I've ever seen, that you have to retake the test in order to get your license.
What, the written test?
Yeah.
Really?
What a mishigas that is.
Ours is coming up this year.
No. If you have an Indiana license, you don't. It never has.
Oh, you mean when you move?
I had a Maine license. So I wanted, it should be a quick transfer. When I went to Maine from Mass, it was a simple transfer. Here's my license. Give me a new license. There's no reciprocal arrangement. You have to make a new license here.
All the places we lived, I can't remember the other states, whether,
Yeah, it's normal. If you can
Texas.
drive somewhere else, you can drive here too. No, but they want you to take the test. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what happened was I had to learn the laws again. Yeah. And it wasn't that long ago. What? Money.
You got to pay.
Right. So it's all money. But then you would think after all that stuff of learning the laws that you would be up to date. So maybe there was a part of me that did know the law, but I didn't care about it because I was just going for my license. Just give me the stupid license. And so even though you read it, and so they could have argued with me anything because I had an Indiana license. They could say, well, how'd you get the license? You had to take a test, didn't you? Oh, so you read the law, but you didn't care about the law. Oh, so now you're transgressing the law. Oh, now we're gonna get. You could have done anything, but and I could have, and I wouldn't. There's one thing you cannot do. You cannot talk your way out of a ticket if the guy's not willing to let you talk you out. He has to be open to it. There has to be a nice debate. Yeah.
In the when we were taking the written test, in the pamphlet, we were reading through it, and one of the silly things in it was when it talked over crashing off a bridge, like into a river or just into the ditch or whatever.
Right.
First step: survive the crash.
There you go.
Okay. Like, okay, good to know. I was planning on not, but
I'm
now
glad I took this test
Right,
because
right.
I wouldn't think of that otherwise.
Right. But there you go. Okay.
You get it right?
Yes.
I remember you opened up my mind here.
Yeah.
When we had Avon in our grammar book,
Right.
I looked up all of the pictographs.
Okay.
And it perfectly translates to inequity because it means the distance that you miss the center of the target in archery.
Wow, yeah.
Okay.
So it's the type of sin where you're just off the mark
Okay.
and you're not in the center.
Interesting.
So the inequity is not equal to the center.
All right.
There you go. Okay. So that should be. Okay. So now,
The degree out of the ground test or something.
You know, that you're away from righteousness.
okay. But that would be the main differences. Okay. That we know of right now. So now the Malbim says in this. He says Yasita al tzad hazeh, on this side shechara sheyechara of the anger that he has towards me, that sheyechara that's angering him. Bikesh me'onatan, he requested from Yonatan Yaseh zot mitzad chesed. Do this as a chesed to me. Do this as a kindness to me. That's number one. And then also from the mitzad habrit shekaratim, also from the covenant that we made an agreement originally. And number three, from the mitzad she'ein bi embo avon. On the other hand, I have no sin that I know of with your father. Zeshekatuv im yeshbi. That's why he says, if I have a sin. Okay. So what he's doing is he's saying, you do it. You kill me rather than my father. So Yonatan says in the next verse, Vayomer Yonatan Chalilach. God, and so Yonatan says, Chas v'shalom, can't be. Far be it from you. Ki ein yadoa eda, that for I. For if I know that evil has been decided upon you, okay, it's interesting. I'm going to look at the English first because it doesn't really. First, I'll do the Hebrew. Ki im yadoa eda. If I shall surely know, because if I shall surely know, ki kalta hara'a me'im avi, that the evil has been completed from my father or finished or something like that. My father lavo alecha, to come upon you, v'lo ota, and not from it agidlach. I will tell you. Okay, so that's what v'lo ota agidlach. How there's a lot of ways to read that, and he translates like this: for far be it from you. For if I know the evil, if I know the evil has been decided upon by my father to come upon you, would I not tell you that? Okay, v'lo ota is it, not you. Ilach is it. Okay, v'lo it. So the ota has to be back to the ra'ah, to the evil. Okay, ki v'lo ota, and not that evil. Would I want to tell you that? And wouldn't I tell you what's going on there? So again, v'yomer Yonatan Chalilach. Again, Johnson is saying, God forbid. It would be chal to me. By the way, it would be profane for me. It would have been a sin on me.
Is Saul aware of the friendship between Jonathan and David?
Yes. Which is why David is saying, your father wouldn't tell you because he knows that we're friendly.
All right, so he knows that they know each other.
They love each other. They're brother-in-law. They're brothers-in-law. Okay, so and they've been friends for years, at least 30 days. So okay, because I can't say years. It's, again, Shaul is only in power for 2 years of his life. So Jonathan is less.
Yeah, I know,
But
this is more than just a family relationship. This
no, they love each other. They quote unquote, love each other like a brother from a different mother. That sort of situation. Okay, so they have a lot of respect for each other. And then again, Kim Yodoa Eda, that if I surely know Ki Kalta Ra, that the evil, again, Kalta is a strange word, because Kalta means completed. If there's a completion there. And how does he say it? It has been decided. I don't know where he's getting the word decided from. But okay. But
This has to become final.
oh, there you go. That would make sense. Has become
Completed.
completed.
Finished.
Right.
Brought to an end.
Okay. So he said decided. For my father to come upon you, then, and I wouldn't tell you. So that's again Rashi. I mean, Malbim says, "V'yomer im yesh bi avon." When he said, in response to what David said, if there's a sin in me, so Yonatan responded, according to the Malbim, it would be, there's no sin in you. Chalilach me'avon, there's no sin in you. You're empty from sin. And if so, if I would know that my father wants to kill you, would I not tell you? Would I not tell you everything in particular? Of course I would tell you. Why would I not tell you that my father wants to kill you? So now, verse 10, so David said to Yehonatan, Mi Gidli, who is going to tell me? Who will tell me? Okay. Oh, ma yancha avicha kasha, or what your father will answer you harshly. It does. The first thing makes sense in English. Okay. Who will tell you, or what your father will answer you harshly? It doesn't make sense in Hebrew nor in English. Okay. Okay, so again, mi yagidli, who is he that will tell me? Not because he's saying, you can't tell me. He didn't say matagidli, how will you tell me? Or just how? Who will tell me? Okay, and mayancha avicha kasha, and who will know? And what will your father answer harshly? Okay, so the Malbim says on this, Mi Yagidli, Ratzlimor, which means, hello, surely, Azlo tu chalodiali, you cannot inform me, al yidei shaliach, via a messenger, pen yevada hadavar, lest the thing become known where I'm hiding. Okay? Mi yancha avicha kasha, or what your father will answer harshly, which means, again, what will be considered for you a mean answer, a harsh answer? Because near to you it may not be called a harsh answer, unless he curses, and completes the law to kill me. But in truth, even a light anger would be called bad. Because maybe he can hide his thoughts and his anger. And his measure will inform what will be said next to him. Because your father may answer harshly. So you have to tell me what you consider good and what you consider bad. What would you consider to be a mean response from your father that's going to clarify to you that he really does want to kill me, or a soft answer that would clarify to me that he doesn't want to kill me? Tell me what's going on here. Okay? Which is, again, what your father will answer you harshly. So who will tell me, or what your father will answer harshly? Does he say anything here for the notes? I don't even know.
Kasha means hard, but it also can be violent.
Okay.
Violently.
So he says like this, in your commentary digest, it says, what will your father answer, what your father will answer you gently, or what your father will answer you harshly? Who will inform me in the field, this is following the Malbim, whether your father answers you gently, hence favorably, or harshly, hence unfavorably? This verse is lacking the first clause, but it is implied. Okay, and so everybody's recognizing that there's a problem in the words of the text, and that's why they're filling in the words. Like I said, the words, who will tell me, or what your father will answer harshly. What your father, right. So Vayomer Yonatan el David, so Yonatan said to David, Lecha neitze v'neitze hasadeh. Let's go out and let us go out. It's also interesting, Lecha would be command. So, go out and let us go into the field. And they both went to the field. Why are they doing that? So he says, that's Yud Aleph. Right. So he says, since he wanted to be specific with David and formulate the plan and to make a covenant with him, he went out to the field. Why? So people wouldn't hear. All right? If you want to, what's the expression? The walls have ears. You don't want to be in a place, if you're going to make this plan, you don't want to be in a place where people can hear you. Rather, you want to go to a place where people cannot hear you.
It wasn't bugged.
Right.
I can.
Go ahead.
That verse 10, it's a conditional clause without the main clause.
Right.
And I could figure out here what he's referring to because it goes up in 9. The Yadoa Eda.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very, very strong when you have that emphatic infinitive.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the clause that goes with 10, that's understood, that comes down. I will surely know if your father answers you harshly.
It's a knocking.
How would you know? How would you know? Because the first one is Jonathan talking to David. Second one is David talking to
But
Jonathan.
that idea comes down that, and then David said to Jonathan, who shall tell me,
Mm-hmm.
so that I will know surely if thy father answer thee roughly or harshly.
Yeah, but the Yadoa Eda is going on Yehonatan, not on David.
Right?
Is
So-
yours in the form of a question or not? Yours sounds like it's more of a statement. I shall know rather than who shall.
Well, the who shall tell me, but that's not the conditional clause. If perchance thy father answer thee roughly, then I will know. David is talking to Jonathan, but he's setting up this condition of how he'll know.
Well, that was before. But in 9, Jonathan is answering that you didn't do anything wrong. There's no way. And why wouldn't I tell you that my father said something wrong? So then David is asking the question, what do you consider bad? In other words, who's going to tell me, well, what do you consider bad? That's what he's asking. Because when Jonathan hears his father speak, it may be just a gruff exterior. He doesn't know, or it could be, maybe he doesn't consider it bad. And that's what he's asking. What's the ground rules here? David is asking Jonathan, what are your ground rules? What would you consider a bad response? Or as we would say to a person, when they're having an argument and they come to you to be the intermediary. What? Mediator, right. So the first question you have to ask is to the person, what would you consider a good response? Let's hear what you would want. Let me hear what you want to hear. And then we can go further with this. But I have to know what you would think is a good response from whichever partner you're dealing with. What do you want out of this relationship? Okay? And once we determine that, now we can work on that. But here he's saying, I'm telling you, by the way, let's understand something. David is coming to Jonathan saying, I ran because your father's trying to kill me. Jonathan's saying, no way. I'm not Makabel. I'm not hearing that. Can't be. My father told me he wouldn't. Oh, okay. So we have a problem. We have a problem with communication here. Okay? I'm telling you he is. He picked a spear up and he threw it
This
at
is
me.
a scary guy that out of nowhere he picks up a spear
Right.
and throws
So
it.
he picked it up. He threw it, and he said he was trying to kill the fly on the back of the wall. Thank you very much. Okay. But nonetheless, he threw something at me, and you're thinking, no, it was just a mistake.
It's just him.
Right. It's just him.
And it did happen.
He has a...
Well, again, the first
he's in
time,
a bad mood.
but it's not at the same time. It happened the first time where he had an excuse and David didn't realize it.
Yeah.
This time David was watching, he realized it, and he ducked. Okay, fine. But so that's what he's saying, and that's why he went on the run. But Jonathan doesn't want to accept that because Jonathan is thinking, my father told me he wouldn't do it. We already convinced him the other way. It's good, it's good, it's good. And she's saying, okay, we have a problem here. So what do you consider bad? I have to know what you consider bad here. Okay, and that's why they go into the field to have this discussion a little further. Fine. And then it says, Vayomer Yonatan el David. So Jonathan says to David, Hashem Elokei Israel. By Hashem, God of Israel. Ki echkor elavi when. Well, it could be when, it could be because, or if. Me can mean a lot of things here. So I will investigate with my father, Ke'ed Machar, Shlishet, like tomorrow on the third day, which is again all of these interesting on the at this time on the third day. Fine. Hine Tov El David, and behold, it would be good for David to David v'lo az, and not then. Eshlach Alecha, I will send to you v'galiti edas necha, and I will reveal to your ears. Okay. So again, he says, that's how he says it. I'm going to sound out my father. Okay, fine. And he says, if it's good for you, will I not send for you then and reveal it to you? Okay, so that's.
What about the other if?
Was he? I didn't get to the other if yet.
What if the news isn't so hot?
Oh well, he's going to say. He'll say that too. Okay, and I'll do one more just to get it covered. Ko Yas Hashem Yonatan, so Hashem will Yonatan Ko Yosef, and also he will add Ki Yetiv Elavi Elara Lecha, that if it would be good to you, my father, to be bad to you, V'Galita Edesnecha, and I will reveal to your ears, Shalachticha, and I will send you Ve'alachta L'Shoma, and you will go in peace. V'hi Hashem Imach, and Hashem will be with you. Kashir Haya Im Avi, like Hashem was with my father.
All right, and that's
So that would be the end. That would be the end of that.
13. That's the end of 13.
Yeah, that would be the end of 13. Right. So that would be the two conditions. If he's good with me, I'll tell you. If he's good with you, I'll tell you. If he's bad with you, I'll tell you. So Malbim says in that. Hashem Elokei Israel. So why is he going? God is the Hashem, the God of Israel. Nishbal lo b'Hashem. He's making a shvu. He's making an oath to him that he's going to tell him what's going on. Fine. Ki echkor ed avi ke'ed machal shlish. I'm going to inquire my father like this time on the third day. Rosh Limo ki biyom harishon. On the first day, lo echkor. I won't ask him. V'yamtin. I will wait. Ulai yivkadcha avi. Maybe my father will visit the question, as it were. If he doesn't, so he's going to look for you. If he doesn't ask about you, Yom Machar HaShlishit, on the next day or the third day, Kid Hazol, like this time, Shanachnu B'Hashem, Az Ekaravi, then Az Ekarni. So if he doesn't ask for you at all, then I'm going to, on the third day, I'm going to ask him. And I'll start talking to him. Okay, what's with David? Blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen him for 3 days. Okay. V'hinei tov. Pirush im yeha ma'ane tov. So now if he answers well, az ashlech, then I will send al yidei shalich ma'acharei shechashash yigaleh devar. I will send a messenger because there's nothing to be suspicious for. I'll send him, hey, I know who you are. I know your address, like we said to you about the book. We know where you live. We'll send you a letter and we'll get the book back. V'chein az eshlach ratzal lemar. Take off Azbali Echor. Now then I'll send for you immediately and without any hesitation. On that, but if he, on the other hand, if he answers me badly, He also made a swear, an oath on the other side. If it's good to my father's, if my father wants to hurt you, if I speak badly before my father about you, that's how I'm going to check him out. That my speaking bad about you is good in his eyes. That's a sign, a clear sign that he hates you. Then I will reveal to your ears. I won't send a messenger, because then I'll know where you are, so I won't do that. Rather, I'll come to you. I'll make it that I can come to you, and then Hashem should be with you. I will also send you that Hashem should be with you, like he was with my father, to be king over, to be crowned over Israel. And with all this, I'm going to send you in peace. Even though I know you're the next king, even though I know all this stuff, I'm going to send you away, because I want you to live, and Hashem should be with you. That's what Jonathan is saying. We'll have to stop here. But that's what Jonathan's deal is going to be. I'm going to go to my dad. I'm going to speak to him. I'm going to say to him, Dad, on the third day, if he hasn't asked for me, I'm going to ask for you, I'm going to engage in conversation. And what I'll do is, I'll speak negatively about you to him. And if he likes what I'm saying, it means he's against you. And therefore, I'm going to come and tell you myself and tell you, hit the road. You have to save yourself because my father wants to kill you. On the other hand, if he doesn't like what I'm saying and he speaks, how can you say that sort of thing? Okay, so then I'll send for you immediately with a messenger, because it doesn't matter anymore if he knows where you're hiding, and then you'll come back home. Okay? That's what his deals are. And we'll deal next week what actually happened.